up, you guys? This is Rob from The Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we'll be digging into Devstream 101 to take a look at some juicy assets, as well as what could possibly be the next prime. Now, there were plenty of shiny things to look at during this Devstream, however, there were some very interesting bits that definitely needed further discussion, so let's jump right on it. As always, we start with the no-ass info, which this time around definitely had some impact, for lack of a better term. So apparently Korra's existence has opened up talk about reworking status effects due to one of her skills giving her the ability to proc one of the select IPS statuses 100% of the time. Now clearly Slash would be the frontrunner, with both impact and puncture lagging quite far behind. This led them into talks about improving the scaling of each damage type's proc, saying that puncture's weakening effect, which reduces enemy damage output by 30%, could, depending on the damage spread of the weapon, increase that reduction all the way up to 90%. As for impact, the current idea they have for it is that the higher the impact damage, the more effective the stagger on it would be, starting from a 1-step, increasing to a 2-step, moving on to a full-on ragdoll, and even laying the enemies out for a longer period of time. Again, I do want to stress the fact that these specific stats and effects are not indicative of what the final product will turn out to be, and the big reason I wanted to emphasize that is the fact that these talks spilled into the potential subject matter of reworking status to be more effective past 100%, and also allowing the rest of the elemental procs to scale better. Honestly, I feel like this deserves to be discussed in a completely different video, so keep an eye out for another installment of the Booby Key, also known as Wouldn't It Be Cool If? Moving along, they quickly mentioned the soon-to-be-released Eidolon Matchmaking for those trying to jump in on hunts, and they talked about the clan dojo improvements, including a new sandbox room type where you can create your own obstacle course. They even referenced the clan assassination missions were being focused on once again. On the customization front, they also spoke about releasing content specifically for your orbiters, and that they do have plans to allow players to visit. However, it sounds like they currently only have one programmer allotted to the task. Continuing the customization trend, they did say that the next round of Tenogen is about to be accepted, and that we potentially have 30 pieces that will be making an appearance, so start saving up now. Lastly, they brought up the ever so popular subject of bird pets, and how they didn't want to add in any more companions until they do a review of the ones we currently have, ensuring that they make every single one of them serve some sort of purpose. So hopefully we'll see some buffs to Sentinels soon, because I literally haven't touched one since Kavats were released. And before we move on, I gotta let the sass monster out for a minute, because I do want to note one thing. If they nerf anything attached to Kavats, and there is even a whiff of Universal Vacuum being the reason why, shit is going down. Let me have my double drops and rare loot in trade for walking my ass an extra few meters for that 10 ferrite everyone seems to think is so goddamn important. Seriously, do not fuck my pussy up. And now it's time to take a look at those juicy assets. Starting with the progress on fans. Apparently the combos had been completed a bit ago, however the idols still needed work, and I have to say it looks incredibly sick, especially the bladed folds of the fan, which definitely have me wondering, is this the type of look they're going for, or is this the basic structure of the way they're modeling the fans? Regardless, I cannot wait to get my hands on them. Next up, Reb jumped behind the keyboard and started showing off some new content for the planes, starting off with a new variation of our old Eidolon friend, now renamed the Megalist. This variation has been tailored to take on our current meta, forcing us to adopt alternative tactics to take it on. It's larger and more lethal than its predecessor, featuring staggering AoEs with every step it takes, a gigantic laser beam, and a rock sword, as well as positional attacks that may require you to evacuate the area or get up close and personal. Keep in mind that this is on top of the other Eidolon they teased on the previous Devstream, so clearly there is a lot more fun to be had for us hunters. Yet another group of enemies to enter the fray on the plains are the Grineer ghouls, from ones that will leap at you using explosive satchels, a chainsaw riding maniac, and a ghoul that literally digs itself out from under the ground to pop out in front of you with double flamethrowers. This colorful bunch of misfits is set to terrorize you on a whole nother level. DE Steve mentioned the fact that whilst this batch of rejects may seem quirky and endearing, that just being around the ghouls has a D&D style effect of weakening on the Warframes themselves. While he did want to keep it a surprise, he did state that it was something in the realms of the paralyzation mechanic, which as a non-D&D player, I can guess what it means, but I'm not 100% sure, so leave that for me in the comments below. Along those lines, they also showed an incomplete teaser for the Reddit-themed Grineer ghoul called the Brainless Univac monster. As you can tell by what they referred to as its angry baby walk, it has trouble getting around to pick up its own loot because it's a big angry baby. However, it does have the ability to latch onto a target and drag itself onto them using its tongue. They are like on the nose with that one. And apparently, it screams so loud that it literally causes itself to fart out of frustration over the fact that you won't give it everything that it wants, regardless of how unaware they are that it would ruin pet diversity in-game. Honestly, I cannot wait to sick my Kavat on this one. Moving along, Rebecca showed off the model for the Tenno pump action shotgun. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it truly in action, as this was just rigged to shoot without any of its own unique mechanics currently built in. Regardless, it looks great, and I cannot wait to see how they differentiate this one from the current roster we already have available to us. Now, of course, last but not least, we're taking a look at Mirage, which I am definitely speculating to be the next Prime. So on the demo, they showed off a change to Mirage's sleight of hand, adding in a present mechanic, which when cast in the light, creates a mine that emits a radio blind, and when cast in the shadows, causes an AoE explosion. It shares synergy with Hall of Mirrors, causing her doppelgangers to summon smaller presents that replicate the effect. Do keep in mind that this will keep all of the original effects, but the present is an added bonus. Now, as you guys know, we are approaching our next Prime access, and there is nothing more telling that a frame is up for priming than a bit of a touch-up to their abilities. And since we haven't heard anything about them getting work done on Zephyr, it looks like they may be polishing up Mirage for her Prime debut. Rebecca mentioned that we would be seeing a lot of gold in the next few months, so keep your eye out for vaultings, unvaultings, and Prime access coming soon. So that about does it for this installment. Let me know how you feel about the upgraded Megalith, the Grineer Ghouls, and most importantly, how many of you think that Mirage is up for the next Prime access? I also want to note that many of you probably want to chat about the status and IPS stuff, but I will be tossing out a more in-depth video about that soon, so hold all of your feelings and all of your amazing ideas out for that video. Aside from that, let me know in the comments below how you feel about what's been #confirmed.